Hello and welcome to a bright October afternoon it is for me here on United Kingdom Talk, our 3 times a week, half an hour talk show. My name's Chris Reardon. A very warm welcome to you out in the garden. Yes, and here we are halfway through October. We're very, very lucky to be having such a beautiful summer and October, I have to say. Really sunny and nice, but a different colour to summer. In the summer, I notice sort of when you're sitting in the garden, it's all very yellowy. And once you've gone into autumn, winter, the colours around you turn, I don't know how I can explain it, much whiter. Are you with me? Or am I being stupid? Anyway, I speak to you today, I speak to you today as an invalid. I have a chest cold, boys and girls, a chest cold, which has been hanging around for a whole 24 hours. Do you remember last week I told you I was feeling rather weak? That must have obviously been the prelude to my attack of the bacteria or viruses. I am being attacked, but I think I'm winning the battle, boys and girls. I'm not as bad as I was yesterday. Can you believe yesterday, right? Now, I'm a person who cannot sit down at home and do nothing, right? If I'm watching a television programme, I've usually got to pause it at various points and go and do something. I need to be efficient. Well, not yesterday. Let me tell you this. I woke up, I was coughing and spluttering, and I went downstairs around about 11 o'clock in the morning, all right, because I stayed in bed quite late, and I fell in front of the television, and I stayed in front of the television until about 5 o'clock. Then I went back to bed for a couple of hours, got up again. Oh, is it bee? Excuse me, Mr. Bee. No, I'm not a flower. Did you see that? A bee came to check to see if I was a flower. Well, I mean, it's not surprising, is it? I mean, I am a thing of beauty. I do believe I am a thing of beauty, which the cat thinks as well, because she's coming on my lap. Good morning, Katie. How lovely to see you. The cat is on my lap. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, does it, eh? Number 1, I am becoming better from my chest cold. Number 2, the sun is brightly shining and it's fairly warm. And number 3, the cat has sat on my lap. What more could a man want in one's life? Eh? What more could you want? Anyway, so went back to bed about 5 o'clock, got up again at 8 o'clock, done myself something to eat, sat back in front of the telly till 2 in the morning. Wow, all that television watching. Can't believe I sat there and done virtually nothing, but I really didn't feel like doing anything. But it's paid off today, because I woke up this morning, about 10:30, and I feel that it's nearly gone. So a bit of a 24-hour thing. It's okay. Don't worry about your Get Well cards or little red parcel gifts or anything, Red Cross gifts or anything like that. By the time you see this, I shall be, hopefully, touch wood, fully recovered, boys and girls. All right? Just to let you know there. Although I must say, I did frighten the life out of myself the other day. 2 days ago. Well, I went to the toilet, sit-down toilet, you know what I mean, and I flushed a chain, and, I don't know how to put this. I'll just say it as it is. Do you ever have a look? Do you ever have a look? Anyway, I looked into the toilet, and it was all purple. I thought, oh, my God, what on earth's happened to me? Of course, I'd completely forgotten that I'd put one of my new blue purple tablets in the toilet cistern to make all the water purple. But it did frighten me for a while, it did. If you've got someone who's perhaps not too well, I shouldn't really say this, dear, I've got a bit of a practical joke for you here. If you've ever got someone who's perhaps not too well, or maybe is a bit drunk, right? You go round to their house, okay, take a piece of liver with you, chop it up and put it in the toilet cistern. And then when they flush the chain, they have the most dreadful fright. They really do. The email address of the show, practical jokes. Have you got any practical jokes we could play on people? Then we want to know about them. There's an email address of the show. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, I'm going to start off with some emails today, because we've got a couple building up there. It really is a beautiful, beautiful autumn afternoon here. Do you know, there's not a single cloud in the sky. I'm looking around. The sun is beating straight down on me. I've got my sunglasses on. Right. First of all, we have a new listener and viewer, Nick in Canada. Hello, Nick. Nick, you're probably wondering why it took so long for your email to come out. I do record roughly a week in advance, okay? So usually the emails take about a week to come up. And Nick writes, my name is Nick and I live in Winnipeg, Canada. Now, I've heard of Winnipeg. What is it famous for, Winnipeg? Is that your capital city? Or is it I'm really useless at geography. I got unclassified for geography in my exams 30 years ago. And I still haven't got any better at geography, I'm afraid. That's why I've got a sat-nav. Yeah, I've got a sat-nav, you know. Can't find my way from A to B. Completely useless. I got lost going to the toilet the other day. Dreadful, dear. My name is Nick, and I live in Winnipeg, Canada. I was born in London, but left when I was 1. My God, did that say 1? Yes, it does. Left when I was 1, and I haven't been back. Got to get there one day. Well, that's a long time ago, isn't it? You don't say how old you are here. I stumbled upon your show while looking for some interesting podcasts to listen to. Well, you got the wrong one here, dear. This isn't interesting. I just go on and on about rubbish. You know that. Yours caught my eye and I started to listen. I really enjoy it, and it's too bad you had to go to 30 minutes, but that's how it goes. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It was just getting more and more time consuming. I have to say, since videoing the programme as well, it is more work. And as I'm getting to grips with little things I can do with a video camera, you know, filming little scenes and things like that and superimposing them over onto other bits and pieces, it's taking more and more time. It's my own fault, really. I should have just left it as a radio show and be done with it. But we do like to improve on ourselves. I just wish I could improve on my looks, really, but there we are. So there we are, half an hour now. So keep up the good work. Excellent show. When time permits, I may even fire in the odd comment about stuff. There's always so much to talk about. Have a great day. And that's from Nick in Canada. Thank you, Nick. And Nick actually has become one of my Facebook friends, which you can do as well if you want to join us on Facebook or indeed Twitter. I hardly use Twitter. I still haven't really seen the point of sending 2 lines of text to everyone. I really don't. However, I am on Twitter and Facebook, and you get all the updates to the shows on there, and you can find me on both of those what do you call them, social network things. My username on both of them is Chris Reardon UK, all one word. Okay, Chris Reardon UK, ChrisReardon. All right. Do you know that sun's ever so bright? I need one of those visors. Excuse me. You know those visors that people wear? You see them in newspaper industries and that. Did I see Kojak wearing one the other day? Do you remember Kojak? That police series from America. Was it in New York? I love it. They've only just started showing that again on one of the satellite channels. I love it. Do you remember the tune? Come on, try and remember the tune to Kojak. Bet you can't. Da 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 da. I love it. Used to be on here in the 70s on BBC One, around about 9 o'clock at night. Who remembers seeing Kojak? We love it. Absolutely love it. Telly Savalas, great actor. Millie in Minnesota writes here. Hi, Chris. I'm on my way to the United Kingdom Talk website to watch the show, but I wanted to let you know that the show didn't download on iTunes for some reason. Just wanted you to know so you could have a look. Big Millie hug for you. And I have actually now, thank you, Millie, I have actually experienced properly a Millie hug, person to person, when she came over here to the UK. And to be quite honest, I could barely breathe. My God, she is squeezing me so tight. I think she was trying to squeeze money out of me. No chance of you or anyone else being able to do that, Millie. You might as well get that stone and try and squeeze blood out of it, my dear. It's just not going to happen. No, Millie, as mentioned in the last show, at the moment, the video side of things is no longer on iTunes, okay? You can still subscribe to the audio podcast of this show on iTunes. Just type in United Kingdom Talk. It's usually at the top of the list there somewhere, okay? But the video one has disappeared. The reason is I was using a hosting company, Blip TV, to hold the video things. I wasn't too happy with the amount of people that sort of downloaded from this particular way of doing it. Wasn't many at all. I mean, it was about 15, and for the money that you had to pay out for that to be on there, it really wasn't worth it. So I stopped. However, if enough people want the facility to be able to subscribe to the video version of iTunes, I will have another look at it and see if there's perhaps another hosting, whatever it's called, company to do that. So do let me know on the old email, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. So you can still subscribe to the audio podcast on iTunes, but not the video one. For the video one, just go to the main United Kingdom Talk website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and just choose the videos and click play. Okay, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Millie also writes, and if you saw or heard the show when Millie was in London, we actually took the camera and the recording stuff over to her hotel, the very posh Marriott Hotel in Holborn in London. You will have seen I did present her with the old United Kingdom Talk Union Jack. All my papers are blowing away, never mind. That used to hang behind me when we were recording the show in the Mirable studio. And she writes, "You'll be pleased to know that the Union Jack is now up. It's in my bedroom where I can see it every day. Thank you so much for giving it to me. It means such a lot." Well, I knew it would. You see, I knew how much that would mean to you to actually have not just a Union Jack bought from a shop, right, but the one that was actually hanging in the studio for, 2 years while we were doing the show? That's why the edge of it is a little bit torn, because that's where it was pinned up on the wall. So that is the actual one. I know what you Americans are like for collecting things. I don't know what's wrong with you lot. You're always collecting things, aren't you? I heard that people actually bottle bottles of water from the Princess Diana fountain and sell them on eBay. Is that right? What's all that about? Dear me. And you all buy it? It's beyond me. I mean, how do you know it's from there anyway? Someone could be filling it up from a tap, couldn't they? She also wanted to let us know that Sarah has a website now. Now, Sarah does supernatural type things for anyone that's interested. And Sarah's website, because she'd like me to mention this, is cosmichooker.com. COSMIC HOOKER.com. Not to be confused with a hooker, okay? She don't do that type of work. It's cosmichooker.com. If the link doesn't work, just type it into your browser and it should take you right there. So if you and she does tarot cards and all that sort of thing, all right? Have a little look at that. And if you do have a tarot card reading done by Sarah, let us know how it went here on United Kingdom Talk, so we can share that with other people, all right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Millie says, in all seriousness, I must tell you that I'm missing you and all my other friends in the UK. Something awful. In fact, I'm not ashamed to admit that I sobbed my eyes out when I left the UK on the 29th of September. The Union Jack tacked up on the wall in my bedroom, I could see every day. It's something I'll always treasure. I know that may sound cheesy, but it's true. And then she goes on to mention Gwen. Please tell Gwen, Gwen is a bit of a regular contributor to the show. We haven't heard from her for a while because she's recently diagnosed with cancer and is having treatment of it. Please tell Gwen that she continues to be in my prayers. The picture I got in my head as you were describing what happened to the trolley that Gwen was on when she went down for what's it called? Explorative surgery. You know, when they open you up just to have a look around? If you missed that story, I'll tell you quickly. Basically, Gwen was on a trolley and she was being taken down, and the person pushing her kind of just let go of the trolley to talk to someone, and it started rolling on its own, albeit fairly slowly. And this trolley went straight down through the doors of the operating theatre where all these surgeons and people were waiting for her, and she put her leg and arm up and says, "I've arrived." You see, that is the way to deal with illnesses. You've got to laugh at it. You've absolutely got to laugh at it. Turn it on its head and laugh. It's very, very difficult. There's probably some people listening or watching the show at the moment who are possibly worse than Gwen. You know, maybe you have something worse. But although it's very difficult sometimes to try and be happy, and I don't know, I mean, we all treat our illnesses differently, don't we? Isn't it better to try and be positive and say, hang on a minute, this could turn around? And it does. It does. We've all heard these miracle stories of people that have been on their last legs, and suddenly, for no unexplained reason at all, they turn around and whatever's wrong disappears. So there are miracle stories, and you have to believe in those. You've got to have hope. I've mentioned on the show before, when people are in hospital and the doctors think there are no hope and they say, well, yeah, you've got 2 days to live. I don't go along with that at all. I don't think people should be told when they're going to die if they don't want to be told. Because once you've been told that, that's it. No hope left. Do you see what I mean? I'd like your opinions on that, please. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think, oh no, everyone should be told when they're going to die? I don't. Let us know, Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Gwen is nowhere near death, okay? She is being treated. Have to just see what happens, all right? Millie says, the picture I got in my head as you were describing what happened with Gwen on the trolley made me laugh until my sides ached. Well, that's what I like to do, Millie. Give you a bit of pain now and again, my darling, all right? Her sense of humour is what's going to get her through this. Absolutely, I agree. Lots of love and Millie hugs from Millie. One of the other things that one of the lads from Belush's has done, Pretty Boy Steve. Now, Millie, of course, you met Pretty Boy Steve. He's a young lad, 25, I think he is, who comes down to Belush's on Monday night together with the Wester Gang and sings karaoke. Steve's got, I think, 1 or 2 children himself. He's just been to Egypt for a holiday. And there's a picture of him sitting on a camel. I don't see the attraction of that at all. I'm not keen on camels. Don't they spit at you? Oh, how vile they are. I mean, you would think they spat in their paw, wouldn't you, and hid it from people. No, they go like that. Yeah. You're just about to get on a camel and they go, how awful is that? My cat don't spit, do you, darling? No spitting from Katie? No. Horrible things, camels. Yeah. Anyway, Steve had this idea because Gwen comes to the karaoke on a Monday night at Belush's in Hammersmith, where I am. And she always sings and has become very popular in there. Always with the younger lads for some reason. Now, I don't know why that is. They gather round her. I don't know what she's got, what I haven't, but it's true. Anyway, Steve had this great idea of having kind of a karaoke concert for Gwen, which we're going to do next Monday Basically, all I'm going to do is take down the video camera and my sound recording equipment, and we're going to tape the night for her. You know, some of the younger people watching, what does he mean tape? You know what I mean. We're going to tape the night for her, record the night for her, probably get about an hour's worth, and then I'll put it onto a DVD and send it to her, and hopefully that will buck her spirits up as well. So concert for Gwen next Monday at Belushi's, and a great idea there from Steve. It's not a money-raising event at all or anything like that. Just a what would you call it then? Not money-raising. It's a bringing up a spirit-raising event. There you go, a spirit-raising event for Gwen next Monday, which I'm very much looking forward to doing. Thank you, Millie. Lovely to hear from you, darling. You'll have to excuse me sniffing a bit today. Okay, I'm afraid I'm just a bit chesty there. Excuse me, it is nearly gone, this cough. Lisa in California writes, because I was talking about my forgetfulness the other day. Do you remember? When I forgot to close the back door and it was open all night while I was at work. Good job it didn't rain. Lisa writes, Chris, I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but I know what is wrong with you lately. All the forgetfulness and the nervousness and the getting things mixed up. You are, after all, the age now. So do not be too alarmed by this news. What does she mean I'm at the age now? What do you mean by that, dear? I'm still a young, wholesome buck. I said buck, dear. I am. She says, Dear Chris, you are beginning to go through the menopause. How rude are you, Lisa? And I thought you was a friend, dear. Thank you for pointing out yet another fault. It's okay, she says. We understand and shall be patient with you in your sensitive condition. Ha, ha, ha. Hugs from Lisa in California. Well, I don't know if I go along with that at all, Lisa. Menopause. Having a bit of a laugh there, aren't you, dear? I have to do that. How do I do that noise what some of my friends do from South London? What's that noise where they suck the air through the teeth? I can't do that. I need a gap in my teeth to... Can you do that? You know that noise where certain people can suck air through their teeth? Like that. Hello to Ian, another one of the Facebook people, who says, hope your friend Gwen makes it through all her troubles. Thank you, Ian. Incidentally, all these emails that you send in do actually get read out to her on the telephone. And Gwen has said she'd be happy to come on the telephone on one of the shows. We might even try and do it on the next one, OK? As long as she's feeling all right, to chat about the whole situation. She's more than happy to do that, OK? So it'd be rather nice to hear from the lady's mouth herself. And Suko seems to have calmed down now from a slight madness a few shows ago with that letter where she was stomping and stamping her feet, saying that she wasn't going to write to the show again because she doesn't get enough mentions. Well, you know, what can you do? I mean, honestly, Suko, you're into name mentioning in a big way, aren't you? Eh? She recently met Snow Patrol, who are a group. I mean, you'll impress me, Suko, if you ever tell me you've met Shirley Bassey. That's about the only one, dear. I'm sorry, that's the only one. Suko writes to Gwen, actually. You, my friend, are a very special person with a beautiful aura. Now, Suko met Gwen at, once again, seems to be the place for everyone to meet, doesn't it? Belushi's Karaoke, where I am on a Monday night in Hammersmith, London. The short amount of time we spent together at Belushi's will always be a precious memory, one I hope we can repeat someday. I want you to know that my thoughts and prayers are with you today and every day. Love always, from Suko. And that's a lovely message there, Suko. All right, my darling? OK, onwards. Carl in Yorkshire. He's always got a comment or two. Carl is a bit of a forum person, okay? He likes going on all the forums and putting his point of view across, and we all look at it and we're thinking, oh, another one from Carl. You know the sort of one of those people. Yeah, a forum. What should we call him? A forum hooker. That's it. A forum hooker. He makes his point of view, not worrying about if he hurts anyone or anything. It's a bit like one of those. No, not one of those. One of those. Okay. Carl writes on the subject of the new 30-minute length of the show. To be honest, 60 minutes was a bit too long for me. You see, you're doing it again, Carl. Sometimes it's best not to be honest. How do you know that hasn't hurt me, that little remark? Huh? You don't think, do you? There's another guy who I've got to tell you, who writes forum pieces. In fact, I'm not even going to mention his website, right? Ross Pactell knows him very well. I'll only give one part of his name, Peter. Okay, Ross, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this bloke's got this website, and he does nothing but put his points across, and if he doesn't like something, he will just go on there and rattle off, and it's just awful, and it's just so unnecessary. Do you never, ever think that you may actually be hurting someone? Not so much me or someone else who's been in doing this sort of thing for years, whether or not we're good at it, because I'm telling you now, and please don't write in and say, oh, you're wonderful and all this, right? I have never felt that I'm good at anything I do, whether it's DJing, doing this little chat show, my music and chat show. I've never thought I am particularly good at what I do. And we don't need people to come down and start writing comments, okay, and saying how bad that you think we are. It's just totally unnecessary. What about the people's thoughts? Doesn't affect me anymore because I'm too old and I'm beyond that. Okay? It's happened too much, and I look at it and I laugh, and I screw up the piece of paper, I take it in the toilet and use it as toilet paper. All right? You know, but someone, especially someone young, they're the people who get hurt. They really are. I don't know if, you know, a nasty comment on perhaps Ross's website that someone might send in, I don't know if that would hurt him. He may still be at the age. He's not young. He's not like 16. I think he's 27 or 28. That may still hurt him at that age. It's still actually quite a young age. So why do it? Why do it? There seems to be, I don't know if it's taught in the schools or what, right? But there seems to be too much of this speaking exactly as you feel. And sometimes honesty is not always a good thing. Example, I honestly think that you're a load of rubbish. Is that really necessary to say that? Unless, of course, asked. And then there are ways of saying things. For example, if I said, let's think, if I said on the show now, you know, James Dean, please tell me if you think I'm really rubbish at this, right? If he wrote back, he would ring me up and say, well, you're not rubbish, but you could improve it by da-da-da-da-da-da. See what I mean? There's the difference. It's a horrible thing to go to someone, even worse. The worst people, of course you could do it, is to children. Those perhaps under the age of 14. And you see fathers do this at football matches. When they come up and tell their boys, you know, I don't know how old they are, 10, 11, 12 years old, who are playing football, oh, son, you were really awful today. How does that child feel then? Why didn't you just say, oh, you had a bit of a bad day, don't worry about it, son, next time? Is it really necessary to be so damn honest all the time? Do let us know your feelings on that subject, OK? My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Well, it's time for me to go. Thanks, as always, for listening and watching the show today. Once again, do join in by email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye now.